Alright, this is Vegeta8259, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Deluxe Class Drift from the new Transformers Generations line. And this is actually a pretty unique figure because it's one of the very few Transformers figures that come from a comic book only character, because Drift doesn't appear in any animated series or video game. He is straight from the comic books, and there aren't very many Transformer toys that can claim that, so that in and of itself makes him pretty unique. And his alternate mode is actually pretty nice. It's a very nice looking sports car, almost sort of reminds me of Jazz as far as the shape of the car goes. Then we've got the Kanji 4 Samurai here on both doors with some red paint apps on there. I do like the clear blue they used for the windshield and the side windows. It looks really nice. I wish this had been clear blue as well, but it's a metallic blue instead. And the headlights are clear blue also. And everything else is pretty self-explanatory. The one thing I really, well, actually there's two things I'm not crazy about as far as the alternate mode goes. One, while I do appreciate the fact that the sword attaches to the bottom, you can still see the handle of the sword pretty visibly up under the car, so I wish that had been hidden away a little bit better. And this center piece right here of the hood is kind of unstable, and plus having these two little joints right here kind of breaks up the sleekness of the car, and it's just, I don't know. But because of his transformation it couldn't be avoided, so I can't really knock on it too much. So anyway, as far as the transformation goes, first we're going to pull the sword out. I'll get to that later. Then we're going to unhinge these doors and fold the legs out all the way, just like so. And then might as well transform the feet next. Separate the legs. The feet are going to pull up and then bend down, and there you go. And the feet are actually pretty nice. The whole leg is pretty nice looking in my opinion. I like these large nice knee armors right here. And you got the car windshield on the back. So yeah. Anyway, then the doors are on a ball joint and a hinge. So that's kind of like a double joint. They're going to come down, and right here we've actually got two small swords. The handles bend up, and then the window glass is going to fold up under. Do the same thing on the other side. And now we've got the doors have changed into very elaborate and pronounced sheaths for the swords, as you can see there, but I'll get to those later. Then actually, before I continue, move this camera up. Alright, now the hood of the car is going to split, and we're just going to pull these center parts over a bit. So now we've got something like that, revealing the head. Then this is going to rotate, and the arm just kind of unfolds out of these large pieces of shoulder armor. And you got a shoulder joint that comes down. Last part is to pull the windshield up over the chest, and there you go. Now we have got Drift transformed. Straighten my camera up yet again. I think it might be time for me to get a new tripod. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. Pretty nice looking alternate mode in my opinion. I especially like the doors coming off to the side housing the swords. I thought that was a really nice touch. And although it does kind of seem like kibble, it's actually functional, so that's why I don't mind it so much. And also, the front of the car is kind of poking out in the back here, but I really don't mind it because I actually think it looks kind of cool back there with those large shoulder armors. So yeah, there is one thing on the back here. This little clip can come out, and you can still house the sword on the back in robot mode, although it doesn't rotate. I was kind of wishing it would rotate to like a 45-degree angle, but it doesn't. So anyway, for articulation, the head is on a double joint, really. It's got an up and down joint inside the head, and then it can rotate 360, although I find it to be very, very stiff. Yeah, really stiff. Anyway, we've got a clear piece up here that does some light piping for the eyes. You can kind of see that there. The shoulders have got a double joint. There's a joint for the transformation that lets them go up like that. And then there's a ball joint which lets them go forward and back and rotate. They've got another shoulder joint which lets the arms go forward and back. And unfortunately they can only go out this far. That's my only gripe with the arms as far as articulation goes. There's rotation below the shoulder, double jointed elbow so it can bend a full 180, and the wrists are on ball joints so they can wiggle and rotate, and they can actually bend in that far, although I don't really know why you would need them to. There is no waist rotation, unfortunately. Like I said earlier, these doors are on kind of a double joint with a ball joint in there. And yeah, I'll just get to those swords in a minute. The hips are on a ball joint, so they can go forward, and they can go back, and they can go out. There's rotation below the hip. The knees can bend about 90 degrees, and the feet can go up and down, even though when they point down there's a big awkward gap there, so you can just leave that up to your own discretion. So that's it for articulation. As far as accessories go, you obviously get the long sword with some kanji inscribed on it, and it's actually pretty nice. It's very simple, but then again, that's like a katana. It's supposed to be, practical. But my only complaint about it is that it's made of a soft, flexible plastic, and because of that, it tends to warp pretty easily. I know when I got this guy out of the package, the sword had a slight curve to it like this, and I've tried my best to straighten it out, and I think I've gotten it halfway straight, so hopefully it'll stay that way. And it fits in the hand pretty nicely, and I don't think you're really going to have any problems with him holding it. And then also, we've got two short swords in the corridors, which oddly enough look like Cloud's Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII. And as you saw earlier, they have that hinge so that the handle can fold down. And they fit in his hands just as easily. So, I guess that about does it for, articulation, weapons, and colors, and transformation, and all that. Overall, I'd have to say this is actually a pretty nice figure. It does have some kibble back here, like the doors and the back of the shoulders, but that really shouldn't stop you from pulling off some pretty nice poses with this guy, because he is very posable despite, the kibble and stuff. But, let's see, good points, very posable. He looks really nice in my opinion. There are a couple bad things. The sword, the long sword being very flexible, tends to warp easily. That's really about all I can think of. I probably won't find myself using these short swords too often because they actually look kind of dinky in my opinion. I'll probably just have him using the long sword the majority of the time. So yeah, this guy was $11 and some odd cents at Walmart, so if you're into Transformers, you might want to give this guy a pickup, and yeah, some of the stores might not have him yet. He's a relatively new release. My Walmart just now got these in a couple of days ago, so I don't know, all the stores might not have them yet, so just be patient. I'm sure they'll have them pretty soon. So I guess that's about it for this review, and I will see you guys next time.